Я ж не подключаюсь пока. Зато мы в эфире.
А где?
Подожди, тут картинка с отставанием, что ли?
Это эфир называется, да?
Да.
Ого,
Вот.
какой он...
Отставание.
Сейчас я тебе скину.
Ты уже сам. Да,
Я потом вырежу и это сделаю нарезку потом с твоих собачек. Ты на стаке старался, да?
Сейчас, да. Секунду, я просто не читаю. Быстро, она голос.
What? Anybody eat? You eat? Yeah, sure, they will eat. And this is for you.
Ну, посмотри. Там, я делал в общем контексте, потому что можешь пояснить, что я же делал в таком же формате.
Хорошо.
Открой, чтобы бля, хотел скинуть. Сори, я просто что-то заморал. Из вашей жизни.
Вот.
4, все, мне хватит. Мне хоть на что-то скинуться, да, можно просто текст. Пойдет. Ты можешь это копипейст.
Нет, просто там же вы по очереди все идете.
Ну, ты просто скажешь, что я...
Да. Я потом просто переключу на слайд и все.
Сейчас прикинь, сколько.
Двигайтесь сюда.
Это каждый месяц?
Да. Каждый раз, когда день. Да.
Серьезно, я понял.
Yes, we've been waiting here for 10 minutes for you. We're at 113, so we came down to 100.
Okay, let's start. Silence, please. Eat quietly. And our first speaker will be Eva. So, just
Well, if you're interested in how sales is going for the product you ripped your ass open for the last years or months or weeks. Hi, I'm Eva, Product Manager Analytics. And I'd like to show you a few slides about how...
Hey guys! Приятного аппетита!
ешьте молча.
Yes.
Okay, so that was 30 days in, we're actually a few more days ahead, but generally the main feedback is, or from sales, is we don't have to explain why you want this product. They see the value, they see like, yes, they absolutely see why I would want this. And they're already sold, and we're getting 5,000 month-over-month revenue. So for a subscription-based business like ours, where we're selling monthly products, or month-to-month products, that's pretty good to start with. And we have 10,000 more in the pipeline. For 34 implementations, so that's the ones, those are customers already. So the onboarding team is working with them, setting up their databases, setting up analytics, setting up their users, etc., and help them train and run their business. 50 more are being pursued. So if you think that, I think they are at 150,000 voice customers right now. If you multiply that, you can do the math in your head, like what the opportunity is for next to us. And maybe even more. So customers we are talking to, they have spreadsheets right now. And they have like tons of different tools that they're using. So offering them one tool, one login that does everything for him, it's massive. So they absolutely see the value. Yes, and then you also see it's small companies. And if you imagine how many small companies are out there who use spreadsheets, who have multiple different tools, who are really annoyed and don't have time to log into multiple different tools. I mean, I hate it, having to log into this and that and here and there and then VPN. VPN craps out? No. NextOS is going to solve that problem for them. So they can focus on business and grow and spend even more money with us. So we see that the average seat count is like 3 to 4 users. But there's tons of them out there. And right now it's just US, and once we go global, it's even, that's what you build, guys. Just so you know. For the small man, not for the big Googles or Amazons. Next slide. So feedback from sales is call pop. They love call pop. It's just like, wow, I can, it just does this automatically and I can answer the phone. That's awesome. There's no crazy integration work because usually this stuff doesn't come right integrated. You have to set it up and you need some technical skills for it. So that's a big piece. Then they're requesting SMS, which is already in the works with the chat team, and also APIs and integrations. Because there's still other tools that NextOS does not yet, replace. So they would like to integrate with other tools. And feedback from our onboarding solutions delivery team. So these guys help setting up NextOS for the customers. The base configuration needs some improving. So for example, we don't have default roles for analytics or like dashboard builder or for all the other features. You have to set up a role and permission yourself and use the admin UI for that. And then data migration, there's some troubles. It takes really long, or it doesn't do what's expected. It doesn't really give you the errors. And then they would like to be able to email to and from their own domain. So those are big. Please don't go back to your desk and code that stuff. The product managers, we are receiving requests and we will prioritize them and add more details and make sure that we are focusing on the most impactful items first. And the next slide, and yes, that's for Q3. What are we going to focus on? There's 2 big pieces. We are 2, 3, yeah, 3. Like we want to be able to sell more and to onboard more. And there's obviously like 2 items that you can do. You can automate. So like Google AdWords, so that you can just create your own account and go online without having to talk to anyone. Or you train other companies who resell the product for you. So basically, we exponentially increase our sales force by having tons of partners. So that's why we are focusing on enabling the channel sales. So make NextOS configurable. And then we hand it over and some company says, oh, I have automotive clients, let me pick the automotive version. Or let me build it out for them. Like the dashboard builder. So you can build analytics for certain types of customers. Improved user administration. We said that we also need to get to one user administration. Right now we have voice and CRM, and they don't really work well together. So that needs to get fixed. And stability, performance, and usability, so UI fixes, etc. Again, that's just directional. There will be user stories. There will be work with your product managers, so don't go back and do it right away. And then unified communications as a service, aka UCaaS. We want to deploy a new contact center, what's currently known as call center. So we're working with ThoughtWorks to increase the features we have and the power of the voice platform, which in turn will hopefully give us more money to spend on working on NextOS. And then SMS, where we're using the BroadSoft mobile app, and also, more user administration improvements. And new applications are Sales CRM and email marketing. Sales CRM is not technically a new application. So there's not going to be a new login or a new application called Sales CRM. It's just reconfiguring CRM as is to make it work for sales. So instead of cases, you will have a list of numbers you can call as leads and ask them whether they would like to buy your product. And you can see where you are in the flow. So how likely am I to sell this product to this customer? And how likely am I to reach my goal? Like your Kanban, basically. And any no questions?
Do we know when the critical for NextCon, because this whole list is critical for NextCon, do we know when to expect epics and stories for those who start getting development recruitment?
It should be soon. We have a list of all those priorities, including dependencies, and we need to figure out. We have design requests for all of those. I have my epics for the items, and I'll be working with my core team and design to figure out what are the user stories. And yes, within the next few weeks.
I mean, so some of the ones that I like, sales CRM, does that include that, or do you know what number to start seeing sales CRM?
Yes, we already have the new items we need, the new entities we need in the database for that. I will work with design on how the design is, and we try to reuse as much as possible of the current CRM.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Thanks.
So first of all, thank you all for your efforts for launching the product. The day, actually a couple of days before launch, especially Friday, Saturday, Sunday, were the most combined efforts of all teams across full Nextiva, and many people were really helpful in fixing anything which comes up. So I specifically recall there are many people who went really extra mile, but just from the numbers perspective and from my personal contact point of view, I want to recall specifically two guys. One is from numbers perspective, the guy who worked the most days. He worked at first 9th of May and all the weekends in between. So the winner is Alexei Novosadovsky.
Does that mean he was doing nothing for 3 months before launch?
Yes, he already used all those days. So we're kind of on zero account, so no gifts for that. Sorry. And another guy, I really like the attitude of Andrew Buchenki, who was very helpful for all the other teams. He works for data migration, but whenever there was issue in analytics or CRM, he was jumping in and helping those guys to resolve. So I would like more people like him to be on board, because a very big challenge after launch is our client support and maintenance of products. We are not just delivering writing the code here. We are making products and making sure that they work in real environments, so that our customers are satisfied. And so if we kind of all of these things already should be communicated by development managers, but after launch, every team has certain responsibilities, specifically deliver valuable product features, no changes here, but there are expectations that every member of the team also responsible for the quality. So every team should be persistently improving the quality of their product, and also take part in maintenance. So you already saw, many teams already saw client escalations, and we need to be able to resolve those quite fast based on the level, and of course self-improve, because we are agile. Yes. So we should be like Supermans. Whoa. The idea, he should be fluent from here to here in my initial, or maybe a conversion to the Apple PowerPoint. Yes, maybe resolution. Okay. So one very specific question is, what do we need to care about production environment? We are just writing code. Sometimes this question I heard from some of you. And the answer is all the environments, production, QA, development environments are responsibility of a team. So yes, if something is not working in any environment, it's your responsibility to fix it because other people are using it. So again, maybe this guy. Yeah, so just a couple more details on how the maintenance flow is working. It works much better than other flows that we had. It's more precisely defined. We have 3 levels of severity, and based on the level of severity, our reaction is. So initially, all the requests reported under the peer project, then they might go to platform support PS project, especially severity 1 and severity 2, and platform support team is here to help us to sleep overnight. So they're not here to resolve all those issues. We should be resolving themselves. So severity 1 ticket supposes that the system is down and we should be working 24/7 to resolve this issue. But with the help of platform support, I think nobody was woken yet. We cannot promise it for future, but it depends on, well, it's all in our hands. Yeah. So severity 2 is we are disturbing the sprint cycle. We should deliver hotfix as soon as possible, but in normal working hours, and we don't deploy it unless it's non-working hour in America. And severity 3 plus are scheduled for the future. There is very good Confluence page, platform support escalation process, so feel free to check it anytime you have a question about severity. There is definition of severities. And just some stats already there where you see almost even distribution of major, critical, and minor, and a couple of system unavailable events. 11, it's quite a lot. We want to be more available for customers in the future. And there is some stats by applications. So, and it doesn't mean that CRM got a lot, just because, most likely it's because CRM is most used product. Yeah. And one update is we are changing our naming for versions, so we don't have sprint named versions, and you already probably have it in your aligned in your Git repos. So if it's not aligned, please align with this naming convention. Major, minor, and patch. Major is not us to define. Minor is changing with every valuable increment, like every sprint, for instance. And patch is something that we want to avoid in the future, like less patches, the better quality. That's kind of easy metrics. It's bug fixes. Thank you.
Oksana, please.
Sorry,
Wait, we have something.
Yeah, no, I don't. I didn't have slides for today, and I was so interested about new changes in some versions that I realized already happened in my team. Yay on that. Couple of updates since last All Hands. A lot of things happened. First of all, launch happened. Congratulations, everyone. And not on the brightest side, after that, another scheduled release happened, which wasn't as smooth as we hoped it would be. I think it was one of the releases where every product had a hotfix after that, so not so
June 1st.
yeah, not so good. But anyway, team showed great dedication and proactiveness in solving these issues and responding quickly to clients' escalations and working extra hours to get this fixed and resolved. So thank you everyone for that. And hopefully we've learned some lessons, and the next scheduled releases will be more robust and less hot-fixed. And I think we are on the path since yesterday's releases went pretty smoothly. So congratulations on that as well. And a couple of updates regarding team structure. We've now had one team transferring from platform admin, which they were working on here in Kyiv. Platform admin was transferred to Scottsdale team, and now this team is joining CRM product. So at this point, we have 3 front-end teams. Sneak peek, one team is joining together, so we're going to have 2 front-end teams working on CRM and 1 back-end team. And this is a huge team, and over the last couple of weeks, we also have 3 front-end developers joining the team, and 1 QA joining the team. Unfortunately, we've had some losses. 1 back-end developer left us from Heisenberg team and 1 from service team. Anyway, Igor Gimbovsky joined as front-end developer and Roman Konikov joined as front-end developer, and we had 2 new people joining teams from the training Zach here was doing in April, and they are showing pretty good results. This is Mukrotan Batenko and Yevhen Batrak, 2 CRM team and service team respectively. So, yeah, let's keep working. That was all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you.
Some short updates about the analytics team. As you all know, currently the analytics team is 19 great guys, and we are like a monolithic application. And huh? No.
Are you the guy? I'm not in the team.
Yes, you as well.
Great guys.
20
Guys, gals.
Yeah, guys and gals. Yeah, and now we decided that we have to go for more microservices. So now we have 3 teams. First team is called core team, and we have 2 features team. We still need to come up with some names for those teams. But now we believe analytics will be more productive, effective, and more focused. Ima, please. Also, I'd like to say that we've got our famous tech lead of analytics, it's Alexei, and we have Taras Mainarovsky, who is the principal engineer of analytics. He was promoted lately. That's it. Actually, I updated the team setup on the page, Confluence page, yes. So you can check if you need, please. Also, some short updates about dashboard builder team. So we've got a newcomer. It's Yuri Kramarenko. Welcome on board. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, so I want to share with you some changes in our code processes which have already been applied and going to be implemented. Most.
Sorry.
Okay.
Guys, please invite Sergey, because we did not have all hands with our new QA manager. So I know that you already know him, but that's his first all hands.
So yes, a bit about some changes which we already applied and implemented during the past months, and I will share you about some of our future goals which also we are going to implement. First of all, any changes which we decided and were implemented are focused on providing more transparency, more predictability, and be more productive in our current environment. Those changes which was applied related, for example, to industrial management. First of all, right now on sprint basis, each team which participate and running the regression cycle start providing the elapsed time which they are spent for running the regression. It's this time related just for writing the cascades. It's not related for some communication, not related to some effect creation, anything. It's just related how much time it take anybody to run the regression cycles. It will help us to be more precise during future planning, and also this all information will be our base for when we will decide which features or some tests we should implement first of all. So something like it will help us with return of investment. The next thing that it was good news, but right now it's implemented that each cascade which is each block or failure should have directly linked into the Jira, because we also have need to have flexibility between these two instruments. Also, each team right now which are running the regression, they are created test run, and on daily basis we are able to monitor their progress. The next things which also have been updated related to the text management. Our team was announced and we start working on it to provide more clear description and more clear understanding what we added to the defects. Because sometimes it's, right now on daily basis I have a filter, and on daily basis I monitoring all defects which is reported in the Kyiv studio, and I review them on the for example, clarity of summaries that produce actual results, expected results, and environments. When, for example, it was in 5. Also, we add some additional defect classification. Right now, it's the first label, and additional classification is going to be applied and discussed in the near future, because it's not very easy. But if we add something here in Kyiv Studio, it also should be applied, for example, for Scottsdale Studio. That's why we are providing some consultation with another offices and deciding the most proper way, what we want to measure, how we want to measure, that it should be really not to provide some approaches for approaches. We want to understand which information really required for us and make it as simple as possible. So right now, for example, when you're running regression testing on RC environment, each defects which have been reported in this should have relative label. Also, we already started providing some general care meetings. During these general care meetings, we also discussed some updates and also provided first perspective of escape defects. Escape defects is defects which were missed and they are were identified in production. So on this meeting we already discussed first the most top critical defects which we produced by ourselves on production. There was defects which was really blocked and critical, and also we already discussed with the team and agreed on some correction actions and already implement them, not to allow this happen in the future. Can you switch? Also, we started providing and working on creation build format, This format will allow us to provide product knowledge sharing and technical knowledge sharing between different teams. Because right now there is sometimes happen some gaps when the PA or doesn't matter who, whatever, from one team doesn't know what is happening in another team, which, for example, feature was implemented in other teams, and our application became more integrated. And right now we start to figure out that more and more we identify integration issues. So it means also for us that the knowledge sharing and understanding that by each team member the common number of features, number of integration issues, what is the real state of the product right now is very important. Also, we start working on changing some approach and attitude and culture according to the QA culture needs. So, for example, the main changes and which we strive step by step very careful to apply, it's understanding by each team member that, for example, if you are doing some, for example, feature during your sprint, you are responsible for delivering this feature to production. There is no possibility for you to do something and jump to another sprint and forget about it. You are responsible for the whole software development life cycle, and it's very important for you. There is no attitude that, for example, you do something and then for team you test and validate it instead of you. We start doing it together. We should help together, and already this approach was implemented with our test suite. And also very important thing, which right now we are continuing to clarify, it's applying more and more automation approach activity in our daily basis. Right now we are working on creating this roadmap, and we are going to provide this more transparent, and we want to measure, for example, in future, how many features we implement during the sprint versus how many features are automated on sprint basis. So there are a lot of additional changes, additional approaches which are going to implement. So thanks for you for attention and keep hard working. Thank you.
Stephanie, you're the next.
Oh boy. Hi everybody, I'm Stephanie. I was part of the release management team, but we have rebranded to the Agile Delivery Team. What that means is we will still have the responsibility of coordinating and scheduling releases, but we're also going to help you track and facilitate cross-product application progress. So you'll see more of that in the future, but just so you know, all the signatures will have that. It's just going to be a little bit more tracking before releases happen. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Or you can ask Julia. Please stand up, please. We welcome Julia. She's our newest Agile Delivery team member. She's here in the Kyiv office. She's going to help you guys with the releases that you do every other week for the sprint end. And also she'll answer any of the questions that you have about our team and responsibilities. Okay, so on to the fun part. We had a great, successful launch. We have customers using CRM, and we have customers on the East Coast of the United States using CRM, which means our more relaxed policy on releasing every Wednesday overnight for you guys have you get a little bit stricter. You can't pull down production because now we have customers actively working on it. So we have to do it within these change windows. These change windows are in Kyiv time, so you can deploy to production 5 a.m. to 3 p.m. for any planned release. Now, obviously, if it's a planned release, you have to coordinate with Julia or myself or Blake. But these are the change windows. These are available in Confluence on the release management page. And no downtime should mean, right, that we don't bring anything down. Usually your team involves a little restart. If you have any downtime, though, it's a little bit smaller just because of the Any questions? Okay, now we'll figure out what needs change windows and doesn't. So there's 3 types of releases. There's an extra flip on there, but I'll explain later. There are regular scheduled releases, which is what Julia's going to organize for you, where we send out emails with release notes every Wednesday, every other Wednesday, etc. Then there's severity 1 hotfixes and severity 2 hotfixes. A regular scheduled release must use a change window. You cannot deploy after 3 p.m. I would love to thank every single one of you for the awesome job you did this past Wednesday. We deployed everything on time and on schedule, and you were very communicative in that channel, so thank you. The other requirements for a regular scheduled release are at least 1 day's notice, which is the Agile delivery team's job. Right, we send out emails to production letting them know that we're going to schedule a release. And it also includes release notes, which is also our responsibility. However, regularly scheduled release notes should always be tested in a dev and QA environment as well. Severity 1 is a ticket that comes from production, and it's the priority on it says system unavailable. It's when something is down. CRM can't be accessed, analytics can't be accessed. You must have a PIR, which is the support ticket, that is marked as a severity 1 to be called a severity 1. But it does not follow change windows. We work severity 1s 24/7 until they're fixed and tested, and then we deploy them to production. We do as much notice to production as possible that we're going to deploy this, but normally we can't break anything more if it's already not available, right? So we try to get that out as fast as possible.
We could try.
I mean, I'm not challenging anyone. Please don't try to break it more. So the next stage in a production ticket is severity 2. This comes in as marked as a critical problem. Something is not working the way it's supposed to, and it's inhibiting our production, like our support team, our sales team from doing their jobs. And usually a severity 2 comes in where there's no workaround. There's no way to possibly do what they need to do to get their jobs done. This must have a PIR that's marked as severity 2, but you must use change windows. So you cannot deploy after 3 p.m. on a day unless James says so. And normally that becomes because it's been escalated from production to James, so it's something that's very important.
It's usually production to Josh, to James, but yeah, that's how it usually works.
And then the last type of defect that can come in from production that we see as a development department is a severity 3, which is marked as a major problem. A severity 3 does not get hotfixed normally. We should never plan to hotfix a severity 3. It should be merged into the development branch and go into the next release cycle, expected release cycle. If something considered severity 3, a product manager can meet with their group, with our management team, and we can upgrade severities, right? If we think it needs to be deployed sooner, but severity 3 should not be deployed to production. Any questions?
Thank you. So now, James,
My turn?
please. Yes.
So I know all that severity stuff and all the rules. It can be confusing, it can feel like a pain in the ass, but it's important because we're trying to hold the business accountable. Doing hotfixes is extremely disruptive to your guys' work, right? So if they're gonna escalate something, we want them to justify why it's being escalated, and we wanna make sure they understand how it's impacting our everyday deliveries. So I do wanna also add though, that how frequently do you guys think we deploy to production on average? How many releases on average? Anybody have any guesses? You guys can't answer. All right. So over the last 30 days, we deployed on average once a day. Not on purpose. We didn't want to. But that's because we had 26 hotfixes over the last 30 days. 26 different application hotfixes. And that was in all, PF releases. That includes a lot of sales quote and account services and other things that we release in Arizona. But we actually want to release every day, but we don't want to do it because it's hotfixes. So, all right. This first slide I have up, it's called One Team, One Platform. This graphic comes right off our website. It doesn't say One Team, One Platform on there. That is something that we're starting to talk about in the development and engineering organization. Listed underneath here is, I did this the other night from home, and I just started listing everything that we work on as an application, as a service. Some of them have a team. Some of them, one guy may do 3 things on here. And I guarantee you I left 5 or 6 things off this list at least. But my point here is that, you know, this may be what we market and what we talk about to our customers, but this is all the things it takes to make it happen. None of it works without all of these things. Some of them are future teams we haven't set up yet, but pretty much everything is required to make our platform, you know, functional. That requires that we all operate as one big team. We all have our individual teams, and then we all work for a product, but then we all work for the platform. One of the first things we're doing to realize this one team, one platform effort is we're taking our support teams. One was platform and one was voice, and we've combined those into one support team that's just called platform support. And they're learning from each other, they're cross-training each other, and they're figuring out how to support you guys. Like so Maxine said earlier, so you don't always get called at 2 a.m. and woken up when there's a problem. And by the way, look at the size of the team we have here. Back home in Scottsdale, we just had this all hands on Monday. There was 80 people in the room. We have a support team of 5 people, right? So those guys are killing it, right? When they come to you for help, please, you know, everybody is very helpful, but just please continue to remember how much they're supporting for everybody. All right, next slide. Okay. When I started 8 months ago, Thomas and Josh made my goals very clear. Deliver platform to production, right? That was the #1 goal. Everybody knows how long that had been dragging on. And of course, in my, you know, newness to the organization, they said, "Do you think November is possible?" I said, "Sure. You know, we could do it by November." And then we started digging in and we started realizing what still needed to be defined, what are all the interdependencies, all of those very enjoyable Thursday afternoon, evening meetings here, morning in the US. They would take 2.5 hours just talking about what still needed to be worked on. And we did not deliver it in November, but you know, November wasn't very realistic. But we did deliver it. I agree. Everybody has a lot to be proud of for making that delivery. Because once I learned what still had to be done, I didn't think we were going to deliver it, right? But you guys did it, and I just want to thank you again for that. Now, along the way, I've had conversations with many of you in person. I've had skip-level lunches with you. I've been in your team meetings, and you guys have given me a lot of feedback about things that we can do better, right? Things that we can do at the team level, things we can do at the engineering organization level. And we've been listening, but we've just not been doing a lot about it because of platform launch. So now that we've got through platform launch, there's some things that we definitely want to focus on. This list is not a complete list, but definitely some of the things that we need to do is we need to focus on delivering business value to customers. Who in this room thinks that we are really, really good at getting our software from a product idea to production? Like it's really smooth right now. Anybody? I don't either. We have a lot of room to improve there. The good thing is that I think everybody knows what we need to improve on, and we just need to dedicate the resources and the time to getting it done. So one of the things is product collaboration. This is without a doubt something that the Kyiv office suffers from more than the teams in Scottsdale, simply because of geographical remoteness from most of your product managers, right? So not all of us have a Hannah that we can have right here in the office with us. So I am definitely going to dedicate some of my time into looking into how we can improve that product collaboration that is the very beginning of our delivery pipeline. Streamline the entire process pipeline. The Agile Dev, the Agile QA, and the Agile Release. These are all things you guys have talked to me about. Like, for example, last time I was here, I was talking about why do we release everything together? We're limited by environments. We're limited into how we can test all of our products working together before we push them into production. We're going to be tackling those problems so that we don't have to release everything together, so that we can release everything every day on purpose and not because we're forced to for a hot fix. We've learned a lot about some of the architectural deficiencies of our product. This is not something that this is not a knock on how we design them, but as we got these into production, we learned where we can make improvements and where we need to make improvements. Technical excellence. This is something everybody in this room can participate in. Everybody in this room can hold themselves responsible for the technical excellence and the work that they do. And they can also hold the other people on their team responsible for the technical excellence that they're providing. Over the course of getting this to launch, we've accumulated a pretty significant amount of technical debt for a product that's really brand new in the market. Right? We have a significant amount of defect backlog. We have a significant amount of CI/CD improvements that we got to build in. We have a significant amount of re-architecture that needs to happen. The last thing we need to do is grow that, right? So we can all make sure that we're not adding technical debt today to the product. We're going to be working on a plan on how to define and track all of this improvements across each team, across each product, and across each region. And for what it's worth, since our products here are young, yeah, we did add a lot of technical debt. It's nothing compared to what we were facing in Scottsdale. We have a lot of technical debt to overcome there as well. The products are a lot older. Test automation. Does anybody think we have enough of it? Who's DOS? We do not have enough test automation. I'm going to be working with Kendra, with Kirti, with Sergey, and with our leads on the QA team on how we do the right kind of test automation and how we can scale that quickly. Because I guarantee you, when we get down to our CI/CD pipeline, if we do not have good test automation, it's not going to matter, right? If we can't just run those things every day, every night, and know and get instant feedback if our code is working, it doesn't matter what else we do, we will not be able to deploy faster. The engineer and employee experience. That's Vera, that's Hannah. And by the way, let's give Vera a big round of applause for bringing us through. We have only scratched the surface of what we want to do to make it a great experience while working at Nextiva. And that starts from the day that we interview you until your last day with the company and every day in between. We want it to be a positive experience. About this, I have gotten tons of feedback from you guys. And it's just been really hard to have the time to actually make some of it happen. And I'm looking forward to making a lot more of that a reality in 2018. And transparency to the business. Right now, the way we do development and how successful we are on the day-to-day of doing development is not very clear to the rest of the business. And it is our job to make sure that what we're doing is very visible to them. So we're going to be putting together some high-level product-based metrics on what the health of each product is. And the health of each product is can be what's our average throughput look like, and is it changed a lot? Why is it changing a lot? What's our quality look like? Is our quality changing, and what does it mean? What does our technical debt look like? How are our releases going? Do we normally have to roll them back? Do we have to do a lot of hot fixes after we do a release? We're going to be sharing a lot of that with the business. The intention is so we can find examples of teams and products where everything seems to be going really smoothly, and we can go learn from those, right? And we can take those lessons learned, and we can go share those with other teams. We'll also be looking for outliers or red flags, right? Like a team for 10 weeks has been delivering 10 stories a week. And then all of a sudden, for 3 weeks, they were delivering 2 stories a week. That may be okay, we just got to go find out why, right? Maybe they had an epidemic of the flu, right? Maybe their product owner started writing really big stories instead of small stories that need to work with their product owner. There's always a reason, but it's important that we recognize what's going on early, and then we react to it. And we give you guys the tools and the support you need to make it better. These metrics, by the way, these are going to come up. These are going to come up from the organization. So development is going to come up with their own metrics. QA is going to come up with their own metrics. Stephanie and her team are going to come up with their own metrics on how we provide release reporting. All right. So in order to achieve some of these areas of focus, we're making a few changes in the leadership structure. We're adding a few new people. So I'll just start with from the left. The biggest announcement I have to make today is Adam Jensen is being promoted to Executive Director of Engineering. So Adam will now own all of the software development responsibility within the entire engineering organization. So John Brody, Maxime, and a few others will now be reporting directly to Adam, who's right here, by the way, if you don't know him. Let's give him
I'll be here through the end of next week. I'm going to try to make it to as many team events, meetings, that kind of thing. I really look forward to getting to know everyone. At any point, whether I'm here or not, always feel free to reach out and look forward to working with you all.
If you guys haven't had the chance to work with Adam yet through the launch, and Adam's been here for 4 months, 5, 6 already, 5, 6. He's an old timer. Every problem we threw at Adam, he absolutely was just got his head wrapped around that problem, got every one of the engineers involved, learned from them, and was able to help us deliver those in time to launch. So I'm very happy to put Adam in this position. And at the same time, it does help me to free me up to help work on some of those higher level department initiatives that we want to address. Additionally, under Adam, we have a new senior manager of DevOps that starts on July 2nd. His name is Brent. Maxim here will be reporting to Brent, and then Brent reports to Adam. Brent comes from REI, where they're doing 15 releases to production a day on purpose, right? Not because they're hot fixes. So we're REI, you guys might not know them, it's a retail outdoor clothing and equipment manufacturer in the United States. They're a fairly large operation, but we're definitely looking forward to bringing his experience onto the DevOps team. Robert Davis, it's already announced, Robert Davis is reporting directly to Adam. Matt Welter starts July 18th. Matt is a senior manager that we have a lot of high expectations for. Alfred Fox will be reporting to him. If you didn't see my email update, Alfred is now the dev manager for voice and Extiva tooling. And also reporting to Matt will be some other Java development teams, which are going to be fleshed out in the future. And then we have Maxime and the management team here that will be reporting to Adam. Over under QA, there's no changes there, other than there will be another QA manager at some point in the future as well to support additional growth. Tommy already reports to me. You guys have met Tommy, Senior Director of Enterprise Architecture. Stephanie is now the Senior Manager of Agile Delivery, so that is a promotion for Stephanie. The engineering culture team, that is Vera and Hannah. And Josh Costella he was reporting to John Brody, now he's going to report to me. He's going to be working with me on how we report metrics throughout the organization. I think I got everything there. All right, thanks.
That's all.
That's it? You didn't get the culture slide?
Yeah, that's mine.
Oh, that's yours. Okay. Really quickly, one other thing I wanted to tell you guys. Some of you have been here a long time, longer than me. Some of you are newer. But how many of you have personally got to hear from Thomas the vision for this company, right? How many here have got to Julia? Definitely. Yeah. So not enough of you. I'm going to try to get Thomas to come back out here. I know Josh is coming out in July, but I would like to get Thomas out here because there's nothing like hearing it directly from him. But I'm here to tell you right now, his vision is big. Now, the thing I like about Thomas is it's not just a pie-in-the-sky vision. He understands completely what we need to do on the product side, on the business side, and on the sales side on how to get there. What Thomas does not know how to do is how to get there on the engineering side, and that is 100% up to us. There's a lot of opportunity for this company, but it's going to require us to get a lot better at how we're doing things. So we made a lot of progress, we made launch, and now it's time to really, hone in on how we deliver software on a regular basis. And again, like I said, to me the good news is I've talked to so many of you and you all know what we need to do. So we're going to be working extra hard to empower you guys to be able to do it. So again, thank you for your time, and I'll turn it over to Vera.
So to following up our good tradition, I have 3 give-out certificates to admit the best our employees, and the first one of them is Andrei Gluhenki. Unfortunately, he's not here. No, it's good for him, he's on vacation now. But his gift card will be waiting for him. The second one is Maxim Vasilets. We want to thank you for being on time, everywhere, on time of panic, and sharing your calmness and sense of humor. And also you are very helpful. Victor. Thank you for keeping calm whatever comes our way, for being super patient and never being tried to push to the never being tired to push the right ideas. Also, let's all remember about the great time that we have, for example, as our lunch party that we have. So we are starting to forget who is our captain. Also, Nextiva is thinking about your present, and also the company is thinking about its future. So meet the upcoming generation of developers.
Oh, nice.
Also, our second year in the charitable marathon. Last year, the Nextiva team was like 15 people, and now we have like 32 people this year. And I want to thank all of those people who come, and I want to not thank you to all of those who took a t-shirt and didn't come. I know where you're working all. Okay. So, the more the better. Thank you. And that's all. Thank you.
Crazy lunch.